What up, what up, what up? It's Coach Funk, and welcome to the first episode of Blow That Shit Out, the podcast, presented by Evergreen Lasher Gardens and the Seedhead community. Welcome, everybody, to the first episode of Blow That Shit Out, the podcast. We have three purposes of this podcast. The first one is to keep it simple. The second one is embracing change and entrepreneurship of issues and seek to hear different perspectives on topics without judgment. This type of platform is needed. It's missing in our society today. And finally, number three, to discuss issues in society and how cannabis tends to affect how communities grow, live, and influence politics in America. All right. So introducing the round table, myself, Keith L. Jones, aka Coach Funk, a former college basketball player at Robert Morris University, a father of three children, the owner and CEO of Homegrown Funk LLC, creator of the Welcome to Funksville NFT project, serial entrepreneur for 10 years, and a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. And my guest today is Mr. TJ Spearman. Mr. Spearman was born and raised in Miami, Florida, studied graphic designs at Florida A&M University. He's capable of working on multiple tasks with great efficiency, demonstrates strong interpersonal communication skills in both written and verbal mediums. He's capable of making significant contributions in collaborative undertakings and partnership with diverse teams. He's the owner and CEO of T King Designs Multimedia LLC. How you doing, my friend, Mr. Spillman?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, sir, and I want to thank you for taking out time in your busy schedule to be on our podcast today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. My pleasure, brother.
All right, I appreciate you. So we're going to jump right into it. I have a few questions for you, and I'm going to put you on a hot seat, all right?
Okay, let's go.
All right, let's go. So, question number one, why the Upland Metaverse and NFTs, my friend?
Well, first beginning, Upland was just more inviting all around, with the real world addresses and with the street views and just the whole project itself. It became captivating to me, so I just dove right in.
Yeah, it is one of those games, man. Like, the way it's marketed to you, it just reminds you of something being, very simple. But when you dive into it, it kind of gives you, well, it was said that it was built on a likeness of Monopoly. So it does have that feel. And, we'll get into the other stuff, but I definitely agree with you, my friend. Side note, I just want to let everyone know that's out there that, with the metaverse, as you learn, the most important thing we all need to know is it gives us the freedom to build your brand, to build our brand. It's it's uncharted territory. It's like that old Star Trek saying, traveling to a destination no man has ever been before. And that's the metaverse. So that was just my little disclaimer. All right, Mr. Spillman, I got the next question for you. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
The metaverse as we know it today isn't going to be the metaverse of the future. So if this is to be true, and most are missing out on the gold rush per se, what would be your advice to someone about to jump in and what the metaverse has to offer?
My advice to anyone would be to just take your time, take it slow. You can still dive in and still go slow at the same time. Not all fish travel at a fast rate. So if you take your time, if you learn as you're going through, and try not and be patient. You have to be patient in this game because patience is a virtue, and it pays off more in the NFT space and in the metaverse space altogether.
I definitely agree with you. We see it, every day in the groups and in Facebook groups and things of that nature. Players, OG players, or as they call them, OG. You know what I'm saying? Who's to really know if there was an OG or they was just first? But if there was really an OG, they wouldn't be selling their accounts. That's my thing. But they're selling their accounts is because of the shift, I believe. So, definitely be patient. Only invest what you could afford to lose. That's always my advice. Anything
Definitely,
you
definitely.
don't break the bank. Don't go on your floor one. If you don't use your beer money or your rent money or your mortgage money, it's not a quick flip per se. All
Correct.
right. Number three, my friend. This is a good one because I think you do this well. What networking or career development advice would you give someone looking to enter the metaverse to create wealth?
Well, you would have to find your areas, find your communities, find what interests you, like-minded people that are, into the same things or may have the same type of interests, and try to branch out. You have to build that networking web. You have to, touch different people in different areas and be able to build those type of partnerships. Because if you're trying to navigate through this alone, then you're not really going to get that far. It's going to be very hard to try to get there alone. Even somebody at the top had a partner to help them get there.
That that's very true, my friend. And I'm blessed to say that that's the reason why we're able to do this podcast now because we was able to meet in the metaverse and create a business partnership and deeper than that, a true friendship based on a game that's not even truly here yet. So it is based on a community. So that's the best advice. I would definitely tell anyone that's out there listening, don't just jump in by yourself because you don't know what you don't know. Find a great community. It don't have to be us, the Seedheadz, but find a community that you relate to and learn from them and engage. Is that safe to say that's the metaverse as of right now, what we have tangible in front of us, Mr. Spearman?
Yes, as of right now, you're just building upon basically a blank canvas. So, right now that painting isn't done. So you have to be patient, and you have to be patient and try to build with people that may have your same interests at heart. And if they don't, that's fine. It's okay to disagree or to agree to disagree at some points, because that's normally how business goes. Correct?
Correct.
Okay, so yeah, just build with the people that are here to build that community, because we've seen it all the time to where communities fall off because the leadership chooses not to be around anymore.
Very true. And what we're finding out building our community is, everyone has different dreams. It all connects in one. We all have different talents. But again, if we use that to collectively, we will all fulfill our wildest dreams, I believe. You know.
Oh
So
yes.
so we almost done, my friend. We have two more questions. I think these are very interesting questions to say so myself. So let's go ahead and jump into it. The next question, my friend, is: does college classes prepare the public to create wealth in life?
Not, in my opinion, not all. So depending on which college classes you're taking, depending on what the outcome, what plans you may have to see in the future, you have to have a plan. So if you don't have a plan, you're just going to college just to go. But if you have a plan and you stick to that plan, then yes, it can definitely help you. And depending on the classes you're taking as well, depending on what your major may be, some majors are more network oriented, such as business majors. compared to a major that may be in nursing. You know, so it just all depends on what your goal is, and you have to stick to that goal and stay focused.
I concur, my friend. I will take it a little bit one step further. I think that the high school and middle school levels should prepare these students to really know what it is they want. They'll let them know what's available to them in college. You know, I heard of business management, but no one in high school really explained to me what business management was. If they would have broke it down to me that I could possibly take business management and run my own business in the future, it might have been a little bit more enticing. You know, so I just think the verbiage and the onboarding to certain things into college is necessary, because even now we see the student debt. There's people out here with degrees that's not even using them. So something needs to change, definitely.
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah, I agree.
All right, we're down to the final question. So let's jump right into it. How do you gain tangible entrepreneur skills inside and outside of the metaverse?
Well, my main, me personally, my main entrepreneurship skill is networking. So being able to actually communicate and talk to other people, whether it be in a different time zone, in a different location, and being able to build that relationship to where that's more of a business partnership. And these business partnerships tend to grow into friendships. And it will be friendships that we may encounter in the near future that will be more in person, and conducting more in real life business as well as metaverse business.
Yeah, I definitely agree. You know, and what I would just, piggyback off of you and say is tangible skills is whatever real life skills you have now, whether you draw, whether, you mow, you have a landscaping business, you have a barber shop, you have a delivery service, you have a renovation business. The key is trying to figure out how you could actually bring your business into the metaverse, so somehow you could get a tangible product in that customer hand, whether it's them paying for a service via NFT in your location. Um, Now, inside of the metaverse is key, because this is where you're going to make your money. We've been speaking and touching on it all, podcasts. It's about the community. We have to figure out how the community responds to certain products. We have to figure out what type of products the community is looking for. We have to help the community understand the overall concept of the metaverse and what's intended for the future. Mixing, virtual reality and AR as a layer on real world activities. It's already happening now rather, and they're teaching the younger generation with these games like Minecraft and Roblox and, Axis and things of that nature. So it's a shift happening. We're pioneers, and we're going to be very instrumental on onboarding future play to earn wealth creators, if that makes sense.
Yes.
All right, so before we close out, I do want to bring something up because it was a huge announcement a couple days ago, and that's on the racing and cars coming to the Upland metaverse. Man, it's no question I could ask you about that. It's just, how do you feel about the information? What's your plans on attaining your first car, truck, or whatever you choose to do? And are you part of any, planning on racing and things of that nature?
Well, yes, I do plan on getting a vehicle. I'm not gonna say exactly which one just yet, but I am a part of a racing team on the Uplander League Racing. So I am going to be participating in racing. I do have a racing team that's part of the Seedheadz LA racing team. That we have a full team of 6 members. So no matter you know what class or what level it may be, we I'm pretty sure we will have a racer that will be able to compete in one of those races. So I just can't wait. I'm really excited for this next update with the cars and seeing where it's going to take our metaverse.
Yeah, I'm excited about the cars, man. We were speaking offline before, and I was just telling you about my reason of being part of the launch of cars in the metaverse is because I started in November and I wasn't here for the start of launching properties. And this is a historic milestone. I don't know any other metaverses that I'm aware of, correct me if I'm wrong, that has vehicles. And that's going to have vehicles to this magnitude. And how they explained it as far as how they're rolling it out, they're giving us basic, well, the old saying goes, put it this way: what's the fastest way to eat a elephant? To cut it up in small bite-sized pieces. So that's what they're doing. They're giving us the car on a racetrack by ourselves so we could learn how to maneuver the car before we get into, you know, races and things of that nature. So the individuals that take out the opportunity or that take up the opportunity rather to get a car and start learning now will be 10 times more advanced to those who onboard too much from right now. So I'm very excited to start learning and becoming an expert because I'm trying to win Spark and Upix, whatever they're giving out. Because these new racers, man, I feel sorry for them, man. I feel sorry. You don't see a sea head in the wind, man. You know what I mean? So
No, blowing smoke.
blow that ish out. But Mr. Spearman, I know I'm calling you, Mr. Spearman. I'm being all formal, but I do truly respect you, allowing me to have you on the show, and hopefully, I'm going to say it out loud. I'm just extending my hand out there to have you on as if not a permanent co-host, a special co-host whenever time prevails it for yourself. All right. So the door is
Okay,
open.
definitely.
Um, in closing, I'm gonna give you the mic to give out all your information. This is the time to let the world know a little bit about you, where they can find you, in the Discord and just on all social media platforms. And in your last words before we sign off, my friend.
Okay. Well, on Discord mainly, you can find me at TJ Miami Boy BOI. So I will be, you know, the only TJ Miami boy with a seed head because I do own a seed head. And on Instagram, if you want to find me on Instagram, it is T King. So that's T King Designs. That's my photography and videography page, which my business will also be being incorporated into the metaverse as I bring NFTs and other items into the metaverse as well. Um, and and last thing I want to state is that for any new players out there that's looking to get into the metaverse, just check out our Discord. The Vatican House Creations, we're the Upland's premier Discord server. Okay, and I thank you. I
I,
appreciate it for having me on.
I appreciate you more, Mr. Spearman. So in closing, I want to thank my guest, TJ Spearman, for his insight on this subject and support of the podcast. We'll continue to have these important conversations moving forward from a seahead's perspective. More guests coming soon throughout the year. So I hope you enjoyed the podcast and please share the podcast with all your friends and family for others to grow and learn. We don't agree on all matters, but we still show love for all and agree to disagree respectfully. God bless everyone and enjoy the rest of your week.